Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing how Bitcoin could soon crash all the way down to around $8,700 or even lower because of the bearish price action that we've been seeing happen here over the last several days. Bitcoin followed through with this head and shoulders pattern and crashed all the way down to where we said it would in yesterday's video of around $9,700, and in today's video, we're going to continue discussing that topic. And from there, guys, we have a very wild ride of a story. This is really interesting. You don't see this kind of thing every day. Hashtag free McAfee. John McAfee stays missing after being allegedly detained by the U.S. government. This was all being recorded live by someone that works with him on his Twitter. John McAfee was basically detained and, according to him, pretty much kidnapped by the CIA. And now, one of the people that works with him is threatening to release confidential, secreted information to the world to threaten the CIA into releasing John McAfee. This is really, really crazy, guys. It feels like a James Bond movie is going on right now. I'm going to get you caught up on what's going on here because this is actually ridiculous. I think you will find this very entertaining, so I do hope you guys do. If you do enjoy today's video, make sure you smash that like button. You can also support the channel and get daily updates on cryptocurrency technical analysis by hitting that subscribe button and the like button. And also remember, guys, that we are running that sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you want to learn anything from the very basics of cryptocurrency technical analysis all the way through much more advanced concepts in the subject, I highly recommend the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. There's a $40 off coupon in the description down below. You can click the link and see what we have to offer. If you like it, you can join the over 700 members we have over there. I do hope to see your pretty face over there in the CT2A. Anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into the meat and potatoes of today's video. As we can see here, guys, Bitcoin did follow through with this head and shoulders pattern as we discussed in yesterday's video. But in yesterday's video, Bitcoin was in this downtrending trading channel right here, this falling wedge right here, and Bitcoin did briefly break bullish out of it, which we would have actually expected because, honestly, these would normally break bullish. We came into it from this direction. Normally, you're going to break bullish. Either way, Bitcoin did break bullish for about 3 hours, and what we saw was that we saw a little shooting star right here. That's exactly what that is, and you can see over here in this video right here, Introduction to Candlestick Analysis, you can see that candlestick, which is a shooting star. That is typically the top of a rally, and from there, of course, we had this little blood fall. We had this cliff dive for Bitcoin where we rallied and where we crashed, all the way down to around $9,600. Interestingly enough, that is where I drew this trend line yesterday. This trend line is from yesterday's video because we saw that there was support over here, and we thought that Bitcoin would probably come down here for a pit stop before we saw any more developments. Now, with all this said, Bitcoin is looking a little bit bullish here with this last hour. It's trading up here around $9,800. It's possible that we rally here for a little while and then come back down, but right now we are very bearish. The trend is very bearish, and every piece of technical analysis is telling us that Bitcoin is going to go lower from here. I don't really see any technical indications why Bitcoin should bounce where it is right now. The only thing I could really see here that would indicate that this little tiny bounce we've had so far is actually going to develop into anything is a change in the direction of the MACD. We're starting to converge bullish instead of diverging bearish. That's the only thing I can see here, guys. There's not really a whole lot of levels of support below us or anything. I mean, we have some support here on the 400 simple moving average on the 4-hourly chart, but seriously, who looks at that moving average? The point here is, guys, Bitcoin is in, not free fall, but it is in a very well-defined downtrend, and even if we have a couple $100 bounce here, we're probably going to continue lower. So I want you guys to realize just because Bitcoin may bounce to maybe $10,000, that's a major level of resistance, and if we go there, we're more than likely going to reject off of it. So if Bitcoin bounces, something like that is very likely. But from there, guys, I want to talk about why I believe that Bitcoin is probably going to go about another $1,000 south. First of all, we've talked about this in previous videos. Bitcoin has only retraced 35% from its yearly high so far. We could stand to see a 40 to even close to 45% correction if we needed. At most, Bitcoin could come all the way down here to $7,500. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm saying that even if that did happen, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It wouldn't be the end of the bull market necessarily, and we could recover from it. There is still room that Bitcoin can crash to, and it'd be very easy for Bitcoin to crash to around $8,000 to $8,300, which is a 40% correction. Right now, all of our technical indicators are bearish out here on these longer term charts. The 4-hourly chart, we can see that RSI is sitting here on the overbought side of the RSI, down here around 20, 30, 40, which is indicative of a downtrend. Stochastic RSI is slammed to the floor, also indicative of a downtrend. The MACD here on 4-hourly is bearish. We got here to the daily chart, same thing is true. We just started going even more bearish on the MACD. You can see here the histogram has changed color over the last 2 days. Stochastic RSI is pointing bearish, so is RSI. Everything is showing us that we are in a short-term, medium-term, and long-term downtrend. And what I mean by that, to clarify, is on the hourly chart, on the 4-hourly chart, and on the daily chart, we are very clearly in a downtrend. And there's not really a sign of that changing on any of those time frames except maybe the hourly over the next couple of days. As you can see here, guys, I did mention that we might see a little bit of a bounce here, but if it does happen, we're probably going to go between $10,000 to $10,500 and reject again. It'd be kind of strange if we saw a bounce here at this point in time. Now, one thing I will mention very briefly, because I know people are going to say this in the comment section, is that this is not a head and shoulders pattern in my opinion, but I've heard some people calling this a head and shoulders pattern, with this line I have down here being the shoulder line. I am not a fan of that. That is one of the ugliest head and shoulders patterns I have seen in a very long time. I don't think that is going to play out. Maybe it does. I just am not putting a lot of seriousness in that. That just does not look right to me. So guys, I'll tell you what I think is probably going to happen here. Bitcoin may very well have a bounce here all the way up to around $10,500 or so, even up to this downtrend. No matter what happens, though, guys, Bitcoin is going to need a lot more than that to prove it's bullish. Before Bitcoin can actually prove it's bullish, it needs to get up here to like $11,500. So even if we do bounce up here, it'd still be a lower high, and that does not mean that Bitcoin is out of the downtrend. It just means that Bitcoin is having a temporary bullish correction. So while this is possible, it may not even be probable. Something like that is more probable. I think that Bitcoin is eventually going to break this level of support and move up further down. We're going to see lower lows on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's probably going to come down here to around $9,000 flat, and then we're probably going to come down somewhere towards this downtrending level of support. That's what I think is going to happen on Bitcoin, and I think there's a lot of reason to believe that. All of our technical indicators are showing the same thing. If we got here to the daily chart and we look at our 20 EMA, for the longest time, the 20 EMA was giving us support during all of this. But now, guess what happened about a week and a half ago, guys? Bitcoin was getting support on it. Boom, we fell straight through the floor, and Bitcoin is now getting rejected off of it. That is a very bearish sign. You don't see that happen a whole lot in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. But when you do, it typically means that you're going into a longer-term, prolonged downtrend like we saw over here in June and July of 2017. So with all that out of the way, guys, you have my opinion on this. I think Bitcoin is going to head lower. I think a $9,000 Bitcoin is very much in the cards, and I would be very hesitant to start buying Bitcoin right now. I personally am going to wait a little bit longer before I continue adding to my position. I think there's more bearishness to come, and I would like to get more Bitcoin for my money. We are getting somewhat close to the bottom, though, in my opinion. I think Bitcoin's most likely only going to drop another 10 to 20% at the very most. So if you want to start dollar cost averaging in now, that might be an option for you, but do be careful about putting your entire portfolio in now on a swing trade or something, because especially if you're using leverage, you're probably going to get stopped out, because we are going to see more bearish price action, at least in my opinion. Like I said, that bearish price action might come tomorrow or the next day. It's looking like we're going to have a little bit of bullish in today's video. As you can see, Bitcoin is moving to the upside a little bit here. We're probably going to see a little bit of bullishness in today's video, but for the next few days, I think in general, the trend is going to be bearish. Guys, I do want to mention one thing, and that is the altcoins. You guys know that I've been talking about the altcoins quite a bit lately, or at least in several videos. I've talked about them more in the live streams. A lot of people are wondering whether or not they should start getting into altcoins right now, and I'll tell you what I'm doing. 100% of my investing portfolio currently is in altcoins. I sold my altcoins a long time ago. My money is in Bitcoin. My money is on Bitcoin. I do have a couple of trades in altcoins at the moment, but at the same time, as far as investing is concerned, I'm much more interested in Bitcoin. We've seen this Bitcoin dominance climb and climb and climb and climb and climb here over the last couple of months, and I don't really see that trend slowing down or stopping anytime soon. I think that this could continue should Bitcoin's rally continue. If Bitcoin goes into a much longer term, prolonged downtrend, and we see some kind of like a mini bear market for the next 3 months or something, that could very well happen. But for the time being anyway, Bitcoin's dominance is very high. These altcoins are almost always losing against Bitcoin on days that Bitcoin is rallying, which is more often than not. Today is definitely an exception. We are seeing a lot of these altcoins green on their Bitcoin comparatives. Normally, though, about 70 to 80 altcoins out of the top 100 will be red on their Bitcoin comparatives. You want to trade against your Bitcoin, not against the US dollar. Seek to gain more Bitcoin, don't seek to gain more US dollars, and you'll probably turn out smelling a lot more like a rose. Anyway, guys, let's get on to the strangest news story I think I have read in quite some time. You guys need a little bit of context for what's going on here. You have probably all heard the name John McAfee before. John McAfee is... I'm not going to get too in-depth with this, but someone died mysteriously. A neighbor of his died mysteriously, And John McAfee was blamed for it because he fled Belize to Guatemala a couple days later, and he just disappeared, which looked rather suspicious. So he's been on the run for a little while, and the CIA wants him for other things having to do with taxes. I'm not going to get into all of it. The point is, he's wanted by a lot of different people, and he was on a boat recently. We can actually scroll down here on his Twitter, and we can see that he was on a boat. Whoa, we'll look at this picture here in a second. Those are what you think they are. He was on a boat here with his wife, and they were traveling, and they came into port. And interestingly enough, when they came into port, his boat got boarded, and he was detained. So let's go ahead and read this. This is honestly one of the... if it didn't involve real people, it would be one of the funniest stories I've read in a while, but I think it's funny because it's real. Because if this was just in a movie, this would just be another movie plot. It's real. Let's get into it. Crypto baron John McAfee has been detained by U.S. authorities, according to a bunch of alarming tweets. They were posted by his campaign manager, Rob Benedicto. By his campaign manager, Rob Benedicto Pacifico Juan Maria Logia. By his campaign manager, Rob Benedicto Pacifico Juan Maria Logia Ramirez. According to CNET, they will release secreted data around the world in retaliation, but the exact timeline is currently not clear. And I did not misspeak. I am quoting when I said secreted data. This, we'll call him Rob over here. This is Rob. He's got an eye patch. This is the person who's filling in for John McAfee while John McAfee is wherever John McAfee is. The power of... wherever John McAfee is. Let's go ahead and read some of these tweets here, guys. There's 7 tweets that I need to read to you to get you caught up on what's going on. This is Logan. That's Rob again. I have good reason to suspect that John McAfee, the Mrs. McAfee, and the other companions have been detained by authorities at their latest port of call. I will be operating this account, providing updates as they become possible. I last spoke with John as his boat was being boarded. The situation was tense but controlled. Our conversation was cut short by authorities confiscating their phones. They wouldn't even give him a cigarette. If John misses his next check-in, events will be set into motion that I cannot prevent once they have begun. John has secreted data with individuals across the world. I know neither the identities or locations. They will release their payloads if John goes missing. Our campaign for individual freedom and an end to state-sponsored tyranny will continue despite these developments. On behalf of the free people of the world, I demand the release of John McAfee and his companions from wherever they are being held. This will not stand. Guys, we're going to keep reading the newer tweets, but I need to give you guys some context. They were on a boat, and they were coming to port, and the CIA, and John McAfee tweeted back here on the 19th, the CIA has attempted to collect us. We are now at sea, and we'll report more soon. I will continue to be dark for the next few days. He posts as he and his wife here are holding what seem to be semi-automatic shotguns. I'm not sure what that is. That definitely looks like a 12 gauge. But John McAfee does say that I'm a presidential candidate with 1.2 million followers. That seems a little pompous of you to mention, but nevertheless, my crime is not filling tax returns. Not a crime. The rest is propaganda by the U.S. government to silence me. My voice is the voice of dissent. If I'm silenced, dissent itself will be next. John McAfee, I'll be quite honest with you, I think he is absolutely hilarious, and I like what he does for cryptocurrency, but at the same time, he's a little bit full of himself. I think the CIA is just after him because of the tax thing, and because you're accused and were on trial for murdering someone, and then you fled the country, which is a little bit... that's a little bit suspicious. I mean, come on, whatever side you are on this, that's a little bit suspect. Am I wrong on that? Tell me. I'm really curious what you think in the comment section down below. Anyway, let's read these last 3 tweets, and then we'll get back to the article so we can continue on. Thank you all good people for the outpouring of support and offers of help following today's announcement. John has many friends in this world, some powerful in their own right. Rest assured, all are working to locate John. There are also some people that doubt the veracity of today's report. That is fair enough and can be forgiven, but you will find you are mistaken. This is not a publicity stunt. Hashtag free McAfee. Finally, to the few haters and authority-loving, bootlicking cowards rooting for John's demise, what more can be said than F off? Enjoy it while you can, because your time is coming. That is terrifying. I don't know what he's referencing there. I think he's referencing the government tyranny that's coming to take us over. And guys, I'm no fan of the government either, but I do find that kind of interesting. I'm not, like I said, guys, I am not a fan of the government, and I am a very libertarian person. And I could see very well the government doing certain things that people accuse them of because they've done it in the past. I am not putting any of that past the Central Intelligence Agency or the rest of the United States government, but this is just a very interesting story to me. I find it so interesting. Let's continue reading on here, and then we're going to wrap the video up. On June 19th, McAfee tweeted that the CIA was going to collect him, which was his last tweet before the blackout. His manager also posted a menacing photo of McAfee and his wife, Janice Dyson, both holding semi-automatic shotguns, so that did seem to be a shotgun in the other one, according to U.Dot Today. Logia Ramirez now claims that he has good reason to believe that McAfee and co. are currently in U.S. custody. He added that they are doing everything possible to secure his release. Guys, that's pretty much where we're going to end the story, because I think you've gotten the point. John McAfee has been detained by what seems to be the CIA in America. Who knows if it was actually the CIA? It may have just been local authorities. John McAfee does like to blow things a little bit out of proportion, get a little bit crazy, and his life does seem like a James Bond movie sometimes, which is why it's so interesting to follow. But nevertheless, guys, that was the news story for today's video. I do hope you did enjoy that. And like I said, guys, if you did enjoy today's video and you do want to learn more about how to trade these markets so that you can actually be profitable in these markets, guys, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is a great place to do it. In this course, you have over 9 hours of content, 33 videos covering everything you need to know to be profitable in these markets. I've had people that have a couple of months of experience all the way up through several years of experience in cryptocurrency markets go through the course and tell me, Jeb, I didn't realize this. Jeb, I didn't know this. Jeb, this helped me. Jeb, because of this video, I was able to make this trade, and this trade made X amount of money, and I made all the money back that I invested into the course and a lot more. People have that story all the time. I've had over 700 people go through CT2A. I've never really had any complaints about it, guys. The fact that we've had 700 people go through the course and people don't complain, this is the internet. The internet is designed for two things. You know what the first is, and the second one is for complaining about stuff. People don't complain about the course. They do give me a lot of praise, though. If you guys are in CT2A, tell them in the comment section down below what you think about it. As I've said in previous videos, I don't want a good review. I don't want a bad review. I want an honest review. If you're in the course, tell people in the comment section down below what you believe, because I am very confident in this course. I'm very confident in the material we have. I'm very confident in the community we're building. And I'm also very confident that if you join us, you'll get a lot of value out of it. So anyway, guys, like I said, the coupon code is 25K2019. That is linked in the description down below. If you'd like to join us, you can do so right down there. I look forward to seeing you guys there, and I do hope you did enjoy today's video. Like I said, tell me in the comment section down below if you enjoyed today's technical analysis, and if you enjoyed our spy movie of the day, John McAfee being detained by the CIA with his shotguns on his boat and his campaign manager on Twitter. This is such an interesting story to me. Anyway, guys, like I said, that's going to wrap it up. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.